Welcome back, everybody, to the final part of our warm-up, cool-down, and recovery series. For today, we're going to be diving into what each of us would do in an ideal recovery routine. So thinking about if the only thing we have to do that day is make sure our body's feeling good, stretch, foam roll, cold plunge, sauna, you'll see it all. What do we each do if we have the ideal recovery routine? Let's find out.
Coach Anthony here with my ideal recovery day routine. I like to try to keep it active recovery as best I can. Sometimes I do nothing on a recovery day. I let my body fully rest, which is always a good thing. That's when your body fully heals, all your muscles can actually recover, and your body can start fixing itself from the damage you've done in the gym, doing all the workouts that you've been doing. So it is very important for recovery, for your health to kind of do nothing sometimes. But an ideal recovery day is you kind of get the blood flowing. In college for cross country, we had a saying, motion is lotion. Get the blood flowing. It's going to help bring nutrients and everything to those muscles while you're going there. And then, so I like to do some sort of easy walk, whether it's 30, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the weather and my mood. I'll go for a walk, but then mobility routines and stretching are my two main ones that I try to do. So get the blood flowing before those, and then go through mobility, keep the blood flowing in those areas, especially areas where I might be hurting a little bit more, whether it's hips, shoulders, legs, whatever it may be. And then I go into a little bit more static stretching as the muscles are warmed up for it, and then kind of go about my day from there. It only takes 1 to 2 hours, depending on how far you want to walk and how in depth of the mobility you want to go. It could take 10 minutes, it could take 110 minutes. So it's kind of up to you, but that's my ideal routine. Get moving, get stretching.
So for my recovery day, usually it's just nothing. I sit at home, but if I'm going to be in the gym, which is all the time anyway, I'm going to focus a lot on mobility, foam rolling, just kind of foam roll any muscles that sore, get the blood flow there, focus on some hip mobility. My hips are always jammed up, some shoulder mobility. I like my half kneeling hip flexor stretch, my hip 90-90s, elevated pigeon stretches, just kind of going through the gauntlet of what feels good and spend a decent amount of time there. I'd like to go over to the cables, do some loaded stretching, help the weight stack really pull me into a nice deep stretch. And then really the best thing I think you can do, in my opinion, especially when you're in Wisconsin during the summer, is get outside and walk. But just walking in general is one of the best recovery tools that you can ever have. And it's easy to do. You can do it anywhere. So just get out and walk. And that's pretty much it. If you have any further description or video on any of the exercises that I do, a lot of them are on this YouTube channel, but if you don't see them by scrolling through, comment down below and me, Anthony, and Trevor can film them for you. And there's a lot of good tips and tricks to do with those certain ones. So yeah, just let us know. There you have it.
Last but definitely not least, welcome to my ideal recovery routine. Mine's very elaborate. I like to spend probably a good hour in the gym just doing recovery stuff when I have the opportunity to just do a recovery day. The first thing I'll do is usually a very yoga-esque stretching mobility flow circuit. So I'll spend a good 15 to 20 minutes just making sure that the movements incorporate spinal rotation, shoulder mobility, hip mobility, usually some type of deep squat, usually some type of dead hang movement where I'm doing some twisting, rotating the shoulders, just getting almost like a full body audit to see how's everything moving, how's everything feeling. From there, I'll move into more static stretching for a pretty long hold for each one. And that's all the main muscle groups: chest stretch, lat stretch, quad stretch, glute stretch, hip flexor stretch, just kind of working through all of the main systems, if you will. Holding stretches for usually at least a minute, if not a little bit longer. Again, a lot of just seeing how everything's feeling. That way I know going into the next week of training, is it time to push? Is it time to maybe hit the cruise control button and just wait till things are working out? Usually from there, I'll do some type of more odd thing. So I've been messing with Tai Chi movements. Again, maybe going back and doing a little more unique yoga flow, doing some type of weapons flow with a staff, nunchucks, things like that. Things that get the body moving in a fun way that allows me not to think about performance, but just play for a little bit. And then usually at the end of a good recovery routine for me, I'll do 2 or 3 rounds alternating between 15 to 20 minutes in the sauna and 2 to 3 minutes in the cold plunge. I've just found that gets my body feeling fantastic. The hot cold contrast has a lot of benefits. I'll let you do your own research on that, but phenomenal thing to do if you have the equipment to do it. And normally that would be my recovery routine. Almost all the time when I do that, I'll throw in some type of breath work, meditation practice, something like that. Something I highly recommend, but there it is. That's my recovery routine. Thank you, everybody who has made it to this point. If you haven't yet, go back and watch the other 3 parts of this series. They're very different than this video. In the other 3 videos, we do a deep dive into each of our respective ideal warm-ups and cooldowns for different styles of strength workouts. So make sure you check those out. If you didn't like, make sure you like those videos. If you haven't left a comment, please consider leaving a comment. It can be your thoughts on what we did, thoughts on things that you do that you really like that maybe other people would enjoy as well, or just what you want to see in future series. Make sure you let us know. If you have any questions or follow-ups, I know Ryan touched on it. If you want to see a deeper dive into our recovery days of actually seeing us go through everything we do, it would definitely be a little longer video, but we're happy to do it if it's something that you find valuable. But again, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. And we'll catch you in the next series. Peace.